Who dares to do something bigger than themselves?
Next available representative.
To fix a broken system. To take a losing basketball team from last place to league champs. To transform the media landscape and inspire a vibrant new narrative for an entire island. Well, anyone who believes in moving Puerto Rico forward. While at face value, these businesses don't have much in common, they all believe they can make Puerto Rico a better place for generations to come. This is a story with many authors and many different points of origin. But at the center of it all, you'll find bold entrepreneurs who weren't afraid to challenge the status quo. Jason Borcho is one of these leaders. He saw a major fracture in the U.S. healthcare system, so he launched Abarca in 2005.
United States, the healthcare expenses are the highest in the world, and prescriptions are a big part of that. It's extremely complex, it's extremely opaque, and the user experience for everyone involved is suboptimal. Everyone feels like they're getting a bad experience at a high price. A big part of prescriptions is who pays for them, and what portion of that drug is paid by the insurance company versus paid by the patient. The experience of delivering pricing information upfront over hundreds of millions of prescriptions a year without errors is where modern technology and that commitment to purpose make a difference. It's the difference between your mom or your grandma being able to walk away from the pharmacy with their $3,000 cancer drug or not. Our mission is to transform that prescription experience and disrupt the entire industry from a place like Puerto Rico.
While Jason spent the next few years scaling Abarca on the island, an entrepreneur named Antonio Ortiz found another industry in need of acceleration. That's how Connect, an nBeta company, was born.
This all started with a service my father requested, a roadside assistance service. And that gave us a window into how Puerto Rico's basic services can be rethought. The very simple problems of when you have an issue that needs a plumber, an electrician, even having a fender bender on the island might take 45 to 60 days to get resolved. And we see that, again, as a very ordinary problem that we've grown accustomed to living with. But the beauty is that we can reimagine what should be normal and build the future that we want for ourselves.
As Abarca and Connect gained momentum, a Puerto Rican-born business leader, Rick Elias, assembled a team and made a huge investment in the island at a time when it needed it most.
When Maria happened, Rick came to Puerto Rico and realized that we were missing a platform to train up talent and to also digitize Puerto Rico. But let's take a step back. Rick is an incredible entrepreneur and founded Red Ventures over 25 years ago now out of Charlotte. Red Ventures is a portfolio of all these digital businesses, so it was incredibly well positioned to really set up businesses that could be run out of Puerto Rico, and that's really what we set out to do in 2018. We recruited 40 young professionals across the diaspora in Puerto Rico. They were sent to Charlotte for training for about 18 months and then came back to Santurce, giving the next generation a shot to take the island forward.
In Santurce, more leaders joined the movement, launching ambitious business ventures across key industries. First, there was Platea.
Platea is a media platform that aims to guide, educate, and inspire Puerto Ricans on the island. Not only in Puerto Rico, but globally, 39% of audiences are disengaged from traditional news. So here in Platea, we have taken up the challenge to change that. We want to show that there are other ways of doing journalism. For example, if we take the elections coverage, we always do it from a lens that feels like a guide, like an explainer, and doesn't overwhelm you. We believe Platea can change the narrative of Puerto Rico because we're a group of like-minded journalists and media professionals with a single mission: to empower our communities. And we don't only tell the stories of our communities, we are part of these communities.
Next up was Nave Bank, the first digital bank ever licensed in Puerto Rico.
There are over 50,000 businesses operating on the island, and businesses are typically intimidated by banking because they see things as too difficult, too costly, or they don't understand them. Why do I have to go to a branch to issue a wire? Why does it take over a week to be able to open a bank account? We want to be able to empower everybody just to be able to transact and be able to move your money electronically quickly so you can incorporate and be part of that economy. In Puerto Rico, we used to have over 20 banks, and there are 3 banks that have over 90% market share. It is the perfect environment to be able to disrupt and to elevate the level of service. I mean, not only from what we can do, but also by pushing others to invest and improve the services that they provide to their clients.
After placing bold bets on media and banking, tech seemed like an obvious next step. Enter Xtillion.
Every business in the world is challenged with using AI to transform the way they do things. And the work to go from an AI concept to an actual solution requires an enormous amount of data infrastructure and AI solutioning work. So Xtillion is focused on providing that to clients. There's thousands of services firms out there. Xtillion has a group of super talented engineers here in Puerto Rico that is based in the US. So for regulated industries like healthcare, defense, and federal work, financial services, where you cannot offshore, you don't want to offshore, we have a value proposition that we believe is differentiated. I see Xtillion as a talent platform. As I tell the team, we're just a platform for you to do amazing work. We're on a path to build a firm that Puerto Rico can be proud of.
And then there was Guide, a team harnessing AI technology to disrupt the travel industry.
I'm a huge nerd. I love this stuff. So I've been tracking AI since 2017. And the moment that ChatGPT hit, one of the first things I did was type in, give me an itinerary for blank trip, and my jaw dropped. We really identified that this technology would revolutionize the world. And so we picked travel as a low-risk category where we could experiment as a sandbox to develop all these new AI technologies. Guide.com has been born out of that. We've generated thousands of trips for consumers. And doubling down on that vision, we just moved another business to Puerto Rico called Expert Flyer that we're going to be sitting on top of all that Guide technology. So our hope is that through Guide and through Expert Flyer, we can really demonstrate the benefits that artificial intelligence can have to revolutionize the travel industry.
In the midst of all this innovation, the teams that started by solving problems in Puerto Rico expanded their influence to the world.
The first 5 years were all about figuring it out and surviving. The next 5 years were about scaling in Puerto Rico. The following 5 years were about reaching exit velocity, which I call signing our first customers outside of Puerto Rico. And then these last 5 years have been about scaling in the US. Today, Abarca has nearly 900 employees across 39 states and Puerto Rico. We serve over 7.5 million people nationwide and manage well over $10 billion of prescription drug spending a year on behalf of our clients.
We've developed in many directions. We've grown geographically. Today we provide over 60,000 services in 5 countries, Mexico, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, and Puerto Rico. More recently, we merged with Platea, an auto insurance company, creating nBeta, this new holding company brought together by the theme of taking, again, very ordinary industries, injecting innovation, culture, and technology to create extraordinary solutions.
The professionals that we trained up in Charlotte moved back to the island in 2020. And since then, that group of 40 has now ballooned over 200 people. We have a very large and thriving education business that powers some of the most well-known properties on the web. And by moving into Puerto Rico, we're training the next generation of talent that we hope they will do great, incredible things in their own career and will also pay it back in the future as we create a virtuous cycle. It's waves of change.
And that ripple effect is already being felt at home. The most recent addition to the Forward platform is Criollos, a pro basketball team that re-energized the community in the heart of Puerto Rico.
Criollos is one of the 12 teams in the Puerto Rico Professional Basketball League. It's a team that we brought back into the city of Caguas. They were missing basketball for 15 years. We had the name Criollos because that's the name of every sports team within Caguas. But we changed the logo, we changed the colors, we changed the image, and people hated it. But once they saw it kind of develop, they really embraced it. Sports brings discipline, sports brings character, sports brings relationships. You know, we already planted some roots. We want to see them grow and really develop sports as a community kind of middle point to bring businesses, government, citizenship, everything around. In a matter of 10 months, we bought the team, rebranded the team, re-imaged the team, built the team because we needed players, played the whole season, and won the championship.
Ford didn't start in one place. Each of these businesses lit a small spark, and though they didn't know it, they were fueling something much bigger.
There's no singular author to what is happening here. This is really the first time that the Ford community comes together, and we're starting to align around the values, around the objectives, around what it will become.
I think what's meaningful about Forward is you have a lot of leaders and businesses that are independently successful, but who understand that to accelerate Puerto Rico to the next level, it's necessary for us to come together.
When we're looking at all of this as part of a movement, it really empowers us to rescope what's possible.
The impact and the footprint we hope to leave is one that will transcend generations.
I am passionate to see Puerto Rico get the true development and the true life opportunities for its population and its people.
I see this as the greatest opportunity in my life to be able to give back to Puerto Rico, especially to the youth.
Everyone in the Forward movement I've encountered not only have great ideas and great dreams for Puerto Rico, but they get things done.
Many things will change. What won't change is the commitment that we have to the island's future.
None of us can predict what will happen, but I bet you when we look back in 15, 20 years, this will be one of the most, if not the most significant event that happened in Puerto Rico.
So you see, what matters isn't how we got here, it's why. And that together, we're moving forward.